one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and it's
Shutting down
weak.
the government is not fighting for the American people. It costs the economy billions of dollars.
This man
people don't get their benefits.
Clueless, that's the only word for it. The hosts on The View talk like they understand what's really going on. But they're completely out of touch. They live in a different reality. And that disconnect is exactly why people have stopped trusting them. They've lost the public, plain and simple. I came across a clip of Donald Trump. And whether you support him or not, he nailed it. He explained exactly why Democrats are losing support, and honestly, it all circles back to shows like The View, the arrogance, the chaos, the total lack of connection to everyday Americans. And the wildest part, they still don't get it. These hosts act like they're royalty, sitting on a stage far removed from the real struggles people face. One moment that really stood out was Chuck Schumer saying something so out of touch that even the panel couldn't defend it. And it's not like the Democratic Party backed him up either. They distanced themselves fast. This wasn't some harmless gaffe, it was a full-blown disaster. Schumer went live and mocked Americans who want to keep more of their paycheck. That's the message now. That you're greedy if you don't want the government taking more of what you earn. Then came the smug line, I made my money all by myself. Yeah, Chuck, so did we? That's what real capitalism looks like. Regular people grinding every day to make ends meet, while they get hit with higher taxes to fund endless wars and bloated programs overseas. And ABC aired it all like it was nothing, but it was something. People noticed, and now Democrats are scrambling because the mask-slip-tanned Americans are finally seeing what's really going on. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. It's only getting crazier from here. See you in the next one.
Anyway, well, you're giving them a shutdown, which legally allows them to do exactly what they're doing right now.
And they're
in
gonna
a
do it
shutdown,
anyway.
veterans would be harmed. They wouldn't get their VA
They're already
benefits.
being harmed.
It
No
would-
one is fighting for the American people, and it's feckless and
Shutting
it's
down the
weak.
government is not fighting for the American
a
people.
minute.
It costs the
Give it a
economy
minute.
billions of dollars.
This man
people
has
don't get their
destroyed
benefits.
so much.
This show has completely gone off the rails. It's not just divided anymore, it's a total train wreck. For nearly 5 straight minutes, the entire cast of The View is yelling over each other like it's a high school cafeteria. Fight screaming, finger pointing, and arguing nonstop about whether the Democratic Party is falling apart. Spoiler, it is, and this show is putting that disaster front and center. One host is literally shouting, "Shut it all down. Shut the government down." While another fires back, "No, that's going to hurt regular people even more." Do they even hear themselves? This isn't a debate anymore, it's just loud, messy noise. No facts, no real solutions, just clashing egos on daytime TV. The Democratic Party already looks like it's struggling, but this circus of a show is making it look even worse. Whether they realize it or not, the hosts are exposing everything the party would rather keep under wraps, and honestly, you start to wonder if they even know what they're talking about. It feels like they're just reading tweets and making up the rest. That's when it hits you. A lot of these media shows aren't helping people understand what's going on. They're just making the chaos louder.
Almost cry today for these people, these vets who are losing everything. Why don't the Democrats go out there and march and stop with each other? I'm sick of it.
Well, I don't know, Joy, that they're fighting with each other. They're not fighting a unified fight. That is the problem.
The fact that Nancy is now out there criticizing Schumer, stop it already.
You know why she's criticizing him? Because he should have been fighting for that veteran. He should have been fighting for the people of America that are feeling the way that they are feeling. The Americans that I've spoken to, people that approach me almost every single day, say they don't feel like the party is fighting for them. This is not about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Go out and fight for them.
But it's not about. Well, he had the opportunity to fight for them. Chuck Schumer caved to the GOP and got nothing. This was actually. This was not actually the choice. But Joy, the choice was not between a no vote on the partisan GOP spending bill and a possible shutdown. It was a choice between a no vote and forcing Republicans to explain why they walked away from that possibility of a bipartisan.
Nah, that doesn't sit right. Here's the real shocker: the federal government is blowing through billions of taxpayer dollars like it's nothing. While everyday people are struggling just to afford gas and groceries, your hard-earned money is disappearing into a black hole of waste with zero oversight. And it's not just irresponsible, it feels criminal. Now we're back to the same drama. another possible government shutdown. Democrats say they're working to stop it. But then Chuck Schumer turns around and cuts deals with Trump, the same guy they've spent years attacking. On The View, Sunny Hostin has a full-on meltdown live on air, claiming Democrats got played, while her co-hosts just sit there, visibly uncomfortable, throwing side eyes like she's gone too far. It's like watching a civil war unfold at the table, but outside that studio bubble. Things are shifting, gas prices are finally easing, eggs aren't outrageously priced anymore, and people are starting to breathe again. Meanwhile, The View still acts like the sky is falling. They seem stuck in panic mode, but the truth is, most Americans are over it. The polls show people want the waste to stop. They're tired of watching the government burn money with no answers, and many believe that money should go back to the taxpayers who actually earned it. While that table keeps spinning in circles, the rest of the country is waking up.
Concede, it would have been worse. And that's what was surprising about Pelosi saying that, because she knows from her experience as Speaker of the House that the negotiator told Chuck Schumer he did not have the votes. He could not get the votes. He shut it down. And one thing that changed my mind is yesterday I called him on the carpet and said, how are you leadership when you only get 9 Democrats to follow you? But then someone shared something that made me change a little of my perspective. They had exactly the number they needed to not shut down. So he gave cover to a ton of Democrats that probably in common sense terms knew their voters would backlash if they shut the government down. And honestly,
feels like I'm the only one still watching The View just to see how bad it gets. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party looks like it's falling apart. People are angry with Chuck Schumer, frustrated with Elon Musk, and losing their minds over Trump. Seriously, the man just exists and they panic. You'd think they'd be focused on real strategies or actual solutions, but instead, it's just one meltdown after another. Behind the scenes, ABC producers were reportedly in full damage control, rushing to cut the cameras before things got even worse. If they're doing that every week, maybe it's time to shut the whole thing down and move on. Then, completely out of nowhere, someone throws in a comment about veterans losing everything. Wait, what? How do we jump from celebrity drama to that in a matter of seconds? One moment it's complaints about government waste, the next it's back to finger pointing. And still no real answers. If they actually care, where's the plan? Where's the proof? It just feels like a lot of noise without any real action. Chaos on the screen, chaos in the country, and somehow these people get away with saying whatever they want. No facts, no receipts, nothing solid. What did they even discover between USAID and those other agencies? Nobody's saying a word. Are we really supposed to just shrug, accept it, and move on?
That's lost big, and you look at what's happening with Schumer. But the Democrats lost big because of the stupidity of, they're backing these 90% negative things from their standpoint. Men and women sports, transgender for everybody, all of this stuff, they're all for it. And they're still fighting for it. But now they have a new one. We're going to back murderers, killers, and people that hate our country. We're going to back people that hate Israel, want to destroy it, people that are murderers, people that are horrible. We're going to back them. I think that might be 100% issue for us. They don't ever find an issue that's like a good
politically issue. Very helpful.
No, politically. I mean, this is not back in Khalil is not a great issue, but back in Khalil is better than back in these other, hundreds of people that are really serious criminals. It's probably a step back.
Things took a wild turn on The View, and not in the usual way. This time, it wasn't just a typical heated discussion. According to reports, producers were scrambling behind the scenes, trying to cut the episode short because everything had gotten completely out of control. The guests kept arguing, constantly talking over one another, and the whole thing felt more like a reality TV meltdown than a daytime talk show. It was pure chaos. At this point, you really have to wonder who's still tuning in to watch this.